Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ralph, and this week I'm going to work on this 65 AFX Plymouth satellite here, which you guys saw me build this one on the channel. So I did build that one almost 2 years ago now, but I built this one, and looking great. And of course, this is you know the early mule car basically. So built this one. And at the time I had bought two kits, so here's another one of the kits, and I decided that I wanted to do this car, which I thought was really cool. And for a while I thought they both were the same car, but this is a later car driven by a different driver, a couple of different drivers actually. But don't know whatever happened to that car, if they actually became the same car or not, really not sure. But just kind of thought it was cool because this stuff is point in time kind of history. So, but this weekend I got some time to sit down and paint this thing. So I used scale finishes here, Dodge White. This is just, the white, the base coat. And I used it on all of the chassis and the engine compartment and everything. I'll paint the interior, but, just like I did on this car. So just like that. But it hasn't been clear coated. And then painted this just like it is. That's all custom work done. And painted the wheels. And when this is, by the way, Plymouth turbine bronze. That's what I used here. Didn't need much of it to shoot the rest of it, so we'll go put that over here. But she came out pretty cool. I was a little surprised. Masked it all up with some Tamiya masking tape and sprayed it. And I shot the whole thing white first, of course, and then I masked off all of this and painted it in the hood as well. So, and then I had this in place and masked it and painted all of this pretty much in one shot. But it was kind of a pain, but it actually seemed like it wanted to work out for me. So she's all on there. So now it's time for me to do decals and then maybe get this thing in clear. So I don't have any decals I got to do on this, although I have some overspray in the front here. I haven't decided if I'm going to mask and reshoot that white just to clean it up a little bit and then just cover all this up so I don't get any on that side, which I'll probably do, but at this point I'm not ready for that section here. So this is as it is right now. So some of the stuff we'll put away because I really don't need it out right here right now. So get that out of the way. That too. And that's just kind of motivation. But since I did this one, they give you almost enough decals for two cars. So here's the completed sheet. As you can see, all the Golden Commando stuff is down here for the mule version. And pretty much everything here is for this version. And then the two drivers, Al Extrand and then John Dallafor. But I'm just going right at the box art. So I'm going to put Al on there. And then Forrest was driving that one. And then the different Hemi emblems for the front, all this stuff. And then for the windows, the only real issue that prevents you from doing multiple cars is you only get one cluster, pair of the valve cover ones, the tack in here. So these 5 interior decals, or 3 interior decals and 2 engine decals, there's only enough for one engine on there. And then that's for the Hemi, as if you go with the carburetor versus the stacks. So that one I did with the carburetors. So this one's going to get the stacks. So it's kind of, same thing, point in time kind of stuff. So since I've got, all of these decals that I didn't use on the other sheet right here, I'm going to use these. And this is all spares just in case I mess up, which I don't anticipate. But we'll get some decals laid out on here now. So first thing I like to do is just separate them all, get them all in separate pieces. And it's not really all that critical on this particular one, but we'll just get them all separated. And I'll start with these Golden Commando ones right in the middle of the car. I'll start with that first. And we'll do one side first. And this Golden Commandos goes across the trunk. And then these, just get them kind of out of the way for now. Those right there go on the quarter windows. So don't need those yet. So just put them right here for now. And then same thing, this goes on the front piece right under the front bumper. So don't need that because that goes right here. Like this one's got the black one, that one's got the other color. So I'm not sure if that gets painted silver also, but we'll figure it out when I get there. Oh, and here's the cross ram Hemi engine. So anyway, got that there for motivation. But here's Golden Commandos for one side, which I believe they get you some really nice instructions or pictures here to give you an idea where everything goes, which is very helpful. So there we go. So and then they mark everything here. They don't quite tell you, but yeah, so that's one side. This is this side, so okay. So 13, 16, 17. So that's this side. There's the back. And stuff for the other side. Maybe I'll zoom this in a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. I work on this particular one. Oh, and all of these that go right at the seam. So let's get those. So 4, 5, 6. All right, so we're doing this side first. So my decal setting solution and my brush for it. I cut the numbers out of the way because I've actually had them stick to my finger and then stick on the car somewhere, and I didn't notice it right away. So because I had that happen, I take them off now. Kind of odd, don't think that'll ever happen again, but nothing like having a number stuck somewhere. All right. These ones let go really fast. So let's get this wet. Okay. Now to look very carefully, C and S are outside the door. So let's move that. And it's literally writing right on the line there, or just below it. Let's see if I can duplicate that. There we go. So compared to that, I'm liking where that is sitting. Pretty much following right along there, right by the lock cylinder. Okay. Forgot my Q-tips here. So I don't do a whole lot of race cars. It was kind of fun to do something a little bit different, breaks it up. And then with all the different colors like this one, all the wording and decals and the changes here kind of break it up some, so it can hide some of your paint flaws sometimes. But there we go. Now what should I do next? Well, let's do Hamilton right under the door. See how that goes. And we got those four, and then we'll do, let's see here. That's this set. These might be a little bit more fun because they're so thin and so straight. Now these I'm laying out in kind of the order they go on the side. I'm doing that on purpose here. Some of these are pretty easy, but when it comes to these, I don't want to mess them up, so doing that way, and then when I do the other side, I'll do that on that side. This should be ready to come off. Oh, that white is nice. I really got to get that right up the line to get that Detroit, Michigan under. So maybe we'll move this one up just a little bit. That's why I didn't put any decal setting solution on here yet. Since there's no real exact guideline on where exactly this should have been, just use the calibrated eyeball, but there, just move it up a little bit. Okay. All right, let's put the Plymouth on the front. Trying to leave enough room for these decals and kind of center it. And it's kind of centered right there. So let's get it right to the wheel lip there. So, all right, let's do the driver sticker decal or decal. Whoops. Right there is precisely what I like to do, just one side at a time. I'll work one side, get it all laid down, put the setting solution on it, let it do its thing. Because nothing like doing one side and getting your fingers stuck on the other side and pulling one off. I have done that. Not fun. All right. The white on these is really good. And looking at it, this comes a little bit more forward to the pillar. So I'll line it up right there with the D. Okay, keeping it kind of centered as best as I can. with what I can. All right, let's start at the back and try this decal. Not sure how this one's going to go. But after getting everything all painted on this and everything, liking the way this is coming out. It's kind of a fun kit to build. Don't do a whole lot of race cars, but since it's a factory experimental class, so it's kind of a factory car, kind of not. It's cool to think about that kind of stuff. All right. Yep, this is going to be fun. Now I'll look kind of straight down at it, trying to see how straight it actually is. And I'll move it with my toothpick a little bit. Now try and suck it down. And that moved it. Yeah, trying to get that straight. Not easy, but just being patient. Now the next section. Sometimes a trick to getting these to go straight when you're doing pinstripes like this or something is to lay it down farther forward, get it where you think you want it, and then pull it. and that'll usually straighten it out as well when you slide it. Yeah. All right. All right, let's get this one on. Turn it around. There is a point on the front of this to make sure, you know, what the front is. I started to put it on upside down. Thankfully, I noticed right away. Oh, okay, I'm not hallucinating. It does stop way up here. Okay. At first, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't long enough. Even though it pretty much went straight. Well, surprisingly, those went on pretty straight. Really happy with those. Let's put this one across the trunk. All right. Now this did have Plymouth lettering that went across the trunk here that was molded in. I did sand that off and did the same thing on the hood, as I noticed that they had these decals that went on them. And even on that one, I made the mistake when I was painting it. I didn't do it and then found out they don't line up with the decals anyway. So, all right. I'm trying to center it, but I noticed in the decals here, it kind of centers along the C. Again, it's a race car, and sometimes they threw this stuff on the cars and didn't really care about exact placement. Probably not as much as we did as model builders. Okay, we'll get that. And then sometimes I'll take something like my toothpick and I'll measure, like get my fingernail and the point of the tip. Okay, that's right about there. And then we'll just flip it over. And it's pretty close to centered, going by the edge of the letters there. So here we are. And I'm going to stop right there. Definitely going to stop the filming because it's been going on for a little while. But I'm going to put the decal setting solution all on this side, on all these decals. And then I'll let it rest. And then I'll work on the other side. But it's the same procedure, so there's really no reason to film all of that. But you guys liked my other video on the decal, so I said, all right, you know, I'm here this far on this one. And I'll film this one too, and we'll see what happens. Just real light brush strokes. I'll get it on there. I'll let it soak in, and then any extra dabs I'll touch with my Q-tip. All right. So there's a setting solution on it. It's drying and sucking it down. Help it stick a little bit. I'll get the other side done, and then this thing's pretty much ready for clear, which gives me the few that I needed ready to get cleared. So we'll get them all shot and dried and work on more of this one and others as I continue on. But, you know, really excited about this. And like that one, it went together really easy. Building this other one, it was just a pleasure to build and didn't fight me. And being a race car, I was a little concerned about some of that. But just a really nice engineered kit and went together really well. So I really enjoyed building that one. This one I was a little intimidated by this paint job, but I masked it and did it, and it came out really nice, and pretty happy about that. So now I'm just getting the decals on it and then replicating the car as much as I can and just kind of having some fun with it. So that's pretty cool. Well, I sit here and just admire my work here, but let's get it pushed down around the lock cylinder here. It's kind of funny, this car has a door lock. You know, it is a race car, but you know, the fact that it still has door locks, especially for an altered wheelbase, you know, funny car. But anyway, that's enough. I'm going to quit playing with that and let it sit and everything. But thank you guys for everything and watching and everything. And please check out our sponsors and everything. I've got them in the video link below in the description there. Hobby Nut Models, big supporter of the channel, which I really do appreciate. And I appreciate all your guys' comments, likes, subscriptions, and shares and everything. That really helps the channel too and grow and everything. So we'll let that one sit and I'll get some more done to it. But thank you for everything, you guys, and I will see you again.